today's video, I'm coming at you with 10 more tips that will help you in the school year coming up. I know some of you guys are already in school, but these are just some tips that helped me out in school. So I thought I would make another video to show you guys. Just a little disclaimer before I get started. No, I did not come up with all of these tips. These are things that I found on the internet and Twitter. But I thought I would still share them because I love giving advice and helping people out. So I really hope that some of these tips help you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you're not already. And comment more advice for other kids that might need help with the school year coming up. So, with all that said, let's just get started. So the first tip is to read before class. You don't have to go like crazy in depth reading every word, but just skimming and getting a general knowledge of what you're about to learn. It really helps, and you can find things that you have questions about that you can ask your teacher later. Which brings me to number 2. From your reading, make little questions that you can ask during class that you can bring up to your teacher so that you can better understand the information. This helps you to listen in class because you're listening for your teacher to bring up the subject that you have a question on. Some schools don't allow this, but if you can record what your teacher is saying so you don't have to rush through your notes really fast, then do that. A lot of my teachers didn't, but there was a couple teachers that let me record what they were saying when they were talking really fast or they were saying something that was really important so that I can always go back later and listen to it so that I can just write the super important things down on my notes and go back later for other information. My fourth tip is to go to class. Yes, in high school and middle school, you kind of have to go to class anyway. But when you're in college, you kind of get the choice to choose if you go to class or not. And if you don't go to class, you end up failing. And sometimes it's like, oh, let's go to the beach. It'll be so much fun. I don't have to go to class. But you end up missing important info. If you're in college, remember, you paid for this class. So if you're gonna miss out on it, you're just wasting your money. Number 5, at the end of the day, make sure you review your notes. The first 24 hours is when you can retain the most information. And it doesn't have to be like you have to read your book all over again. Just skim over your notes, skim over the book, just so you can keep it in the front of your brain. Number 6, don't overwork yourself. I remember getting crazy anxiety attacks or something when I had so much homework and I was just so worried that I wasn't gonna get it done and I was just stressing. If I'm reading my textbook and I'm not into it, or I'm getting distracted, or I'm really tired and I can't focus, then you just need to take a break and stop reading because you're not gonna remember anything if you're not focused on what you're doing. You can go get a snack, go to the gym, go for a walk, listen to music. You can always try again later and just wait until you're actually focused so that you can actually learn something. Another thing about being focused, which brings me to number 7, is just do a little bit every day. When I had a project, of course, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me that I would just procrastinate and do everything the night before, which I really wish I didn't do, but when I started to do a little bit at a time, then it really helped. If I had a huge paper due, I would probably do a paragraph a day, or 2 paragraphs a day, or a page a day. Just something so I don't feel completely overwhelmed when it's due the next day. And that way, if you get tired or you need to take a break, you know you still have time, so you don't have to really stress about it. And the more you work on your material and you see it, the more you're gonna remember it because you're always gonna be thinking about it because you're gonna be working on it every day. Number 8 is you can save quizzes that you take in your class and use it later, or just any homework, I guess, but it really helps to quiz yourself, and you can make your own little tests to practice for the main test so you're not totally unprepared and you kind of know what's already gonna be on the test. You can even go on Quizlet.com, and that has so many things. Sometimes it even has your homework on it, and that really helps. It helps me, and if you're just always going over the information, then you're never gonna forget it. Number 9, my favorite number. This one I used all the time because this is the only way I could remember things, is I related the things that I was learning into my own life. So if we're talking about Rome and all the drama that happens with Rome, like Caesar and Brutus or whatever, I would be like, oh, that's like my sister or my brother. I would relate it to myself so it was easy. Or if we're talking about people's family members and they were saying, oh, this person's sister-in-law's cousin, I'd go, okay, wait, who's my sister? And then I would see it. And so it really helped me remember who I was talking about because I could put things to my life. And things make sense when you can see how it can be applied to your life. And you can break it down and really understand what you're talking about. Number 10 is one that I have heard a bajillion times, and that's to teach someone else, because you understand it most when you teach it to somebody else. Because like I said in my other video, if I know what I'm talking about, then I'm gonna ace the test because I know what I'm talking about. And that helps me because then it's like, oh, I know it and I don't have to stress about not knowing what the heck I'm talking about. And it is another way to keep it in the front of your brain and always be thinking about it, so then you know what you're doing. So when you're on the test, you're like, oh, I was just telling my sister about this. I totally know what the mitochondria in the cell is. And I'm going to add an 11th one because this one I found out this year and I really, really want to talk about it because my planner is my baby, my agenda, my communicator, whatever you want to call it. It has seriously organized my life and I don't feel stressed about what I'm doing. It's like, tomorrow I am doing this, at this time, this thing, and then in 2 days I need to do this. Yesterday I did this. I have a set study schedule. I can map out when I want to get things done and when I need to get things done. And it helps you have a routine in life. You put everything that you need. It's just like, I don't know, I never know why. When I was in high school, I was like, oh, I don't need one. I just wrote my homework down on a piece of paper or I took a picture of it and it just helped me out so much. So get a planner if you want to be organized. So I'm going to quickly go through the 10 ways to make your notes look prettier. These are just things that I used in class. Number 1, use various shapes to amplify specific words. This will help on keywords, vocab words, anything that you really need to remember. Number 2, highlight key phrases to better understand the information. Just like number 1, you highlight the important information, what you really need to remember, or what you want to go back on later. Number 3, make your title look pretty or beautiful. You can add little flourishes. When your title looks pretty, you're going to want to read the notes probably a little bit more. Number 4, you can use arrows. You can indent your information. They're easier than bullet points. You can indent, you can point to things that you want to remember, you can point off to other questions that you need. Number 5 is to make little banners. This just makes your notes look pretty. You don't need them, but they always made my notes look pretty, and I don't know, it just made me happy when I was looking at my notes. And usually, notes don't make me look that happy. Number 6 is to use thought bubbles to expand your learning. If you're writing your notes down and you think of something, you can put a little thought bubble to the side and go, oh, this is what I was thinking about when I was learning about this, or this is a question that I have that I'm going to ask later. Number 7 is to write in different ways to spice up mundane notes. This is just a way to keep you focused and to not be so boring you're reading the same exact font the whole time like you're reading a book. If you write in different ways, then you can be like, ooh, it's just more fun to look at and it keeps you focused and awake because something is constantly changing, so you're constantly focused on something else. Number 8 is to use about 3 colors. If you use more than 3 colors, then it can get a little overwhelming and then your notes will end up looking messy. So I say use about 3 colors. You can use black or 2 other colors or something, but I suggest using colors that are totally different, like black and blue. Those kind of look alike, so sometimes it'll look a little funny, but it's just my personal opinion. You can use whatever you want to use. Number 9 is to connect ideas by using dots and lines or arrows. This is really helpful for me if I want to do pictures or something, or it's, oh, this person's connected to this person's connected to this person. Or just really it helps you see the track of something or your line of thought. Number 10 is to use doodles for little embellishments. And you can draw your thoughts. If you're learning about a plant and you think about the plant and the flower and draw the plant, because you will see it and you will think about it. A picture is worth 1,000 words and you will think about 1,000 words when you see that picture. And this also means smiley faces. If you're getting bored, and draw a smiley face. You can doodle, as long as you're paying attention, I guess. But I think it really helps me when I was doing doodles. You can do brackets, you can do lines, you can do dots, you can use these as bullet points. They just helped my notes look prettier, and this was really just about making your notes look prettier, but still efficient. But just, school is tough, it is, but you get through it, and if you have friends, then it's way even easier. Just make it fun, make the most of it, don't worry. If you have a hard time remembering things, make a song about it. Just have fun and don't stress too much about your grades and everything. It's the same thing I said in my last video. Life gets harder, but it also gets easier and so much more fun. And I wish I didn't stress too much in school, so just don't stress, you will get through it. And if you have any more questions, then you can ask me on my Instagram, my Twitter, or my Snapchat, which will be down below or on the screen. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will just see you in my next video. Oh wait. Oh, earthquake. Hey guys, so for today, I just got some fake Kylie lip kits in, so I wanted to test them out, so I thought I would make a little video about it. So I am just going to unbox this and try some out.